Now SummerSlam 2020 is almost here and the WWE has some big plans for this year's biggest party of the summer. Join us now as we look at 10 last-minute rumors you need to know about this year's SummerSlam. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. Number 1. A mess backstage. Could the Thunderdome be the shot in the arm the WWE Universe has been hoping for since the pandemic stifled the WWE? With them moving to its new home, the Thunderdome at Orlando's Amway Center, there is the hope that this move will energize Vince McMahon and his creative team. Now, in all fairness, the WWE had some good programs going on before the pandemic ended live events, but whatever momentum the company enjoyed going into WrestleMania quickly evaporated. While we'd like to join our fellow WWE fans in the hope that the move to the Amway Center will get the company back right on track, unfortunately news doesn't sound good backstage. Ringside News' Steve Carrier tweeted, "WWE is bringing fans to the Thunderdome. We're told it's the same backstage as a mad scramble with no real direction or leadership. Also, top creative folks changing directions every time Vince changes his mood. As of now, creative remains the same, with the top members of the writing team comprising of Bruce Pritchard, Ed Koskey, Ryan Ward, and John Bakestrom are also changing directions every time Vince changes his mood. McMahon is still the chief decision maker within the company, but his ideas are rather unpredictable. To be honest, unpredictability is what the WWE needs right now, as storylines have become way too predictable in the last couple of years. Just look at the Randy Orton storyline. Randy is great, but we all know what's gonna happen during each and every segment, and they repeat it every week. Not to mention Seth Rollins always doing the same shtick every week. Now we hope the Thunderdome is a big success, but what exactly is it? Well, it looks like the WWE is going to use the 21st August edition of SmackDown to introduce the Thunderdome before SummerSlam airs. But what exactly is it? Well, it's a new experience in the WWE with the ability to hold virtual fans in the Amway Center. These fans registered online to put on their faces in the crowd. Not only that, but WWE will be using a state-of-the-art set, video boards, pyrotechnics, lasers, graphics, and drone cameras. Leaked pictures have surfaced online on how it will look, but it's currently still in its early stages. Number 3. Is Lars Sullivan returning? Lars Sullivan's snake-bitten WWE career continues to command the WWE Universe's attention as it appears he's in serious training following his surgery last year to repair his injured knee. According to Ringside News, there are different reports concerning what's next for the wrestler nicknamed The Freak and whose past came back to haunt his WWE career, including hateful remarks online as well as a previously unknown career in the adult film industry. The Freak is training for something, but it isn't clear what he's preparing for, but he has a team of people around who appear to be helping him maintain that drive. There were some reports that Sullivan wasn't having the best time during his injury. He had some setbacks, but it wasn't clear what was going on. Ringside News exclusively reported that there were no discussions about bringing Sullivan back to the main roster. He was considered unreliable by some. That was reported on April 28th, and we haven't heard anything different since then. You also never know what can happen in WWE. Now, Lars could make a big impact if he returned to the WWE at SummerSlam, but it's unclear whether the WWE is still willing to push him hard in light of his past problems, including his lengthy absence from injury. Number 4. Why Payback is airing straight after SummerSlam. Now, if you're wondering why WWE would schedule another pay-per-view so soon after its second biggest show of the year, well, Dave Meltzer has an idea why, and we could see a big angle set up for the pay-per-view. He mentioned, just an experiment to see how it works. They must have an idea for the hot angle coming off SummerSlam that they felt needed an immediate follow-up. That, or it was just an idea that they're trying. With Sasha Banks and Bayley scheduled to defend the Women's Tag Team Championship at Payback, this is likely where the Golden Role models will finally split up. While SummerSlam is likely going to set the stage for the breakup, there will likely be a huge angle to drive Payback and one or more wrestlers' quest for revenge. With the Retribution'S storyline continuing to develop, it could be one such catalyst. Number 5. A new champion. Randy Orton has been running wild on Raw ever since he took out Edge again at Backlash, proceeding to take out a number of WWE legends including Christian, Big Show, Ric Flair, and Shawn Michaels. Now, with Orton setting his sights on the WWE Champion Drew McIntyre, is there any doubt Orton's momentum is going to take him all the way to the top of the Raw mountain? By all accounts, the WWE wants to build things up for a big match between Randy Orton and Edge, with the WWE Championship playing an important part of the program, as they want to have a third match at WrestleMania 37. Whilst there's currently no evidence that the title being on the line would help the feud, and despite Raw's ratings suggesting Orton hasn't done anything to help the Red brand, the WWE seems deadest on pushing Randy Orton as Raw's #1 villain. That means it's all but guaranteed that Randall Keith Orton will become WWE Champion on Sunday. However, as we'll see later, there are some interesting rumours about how the Legend Killer could possibly walk out from SummerSlam empty-handed. Number 6. Retribution strikes. Look for the WWE's new faction Retribution to play a big role at SummerSlam. Although they haven't been consistent with the booking of the group as a legitimate threat to the company, that could change on Sunday as Retribution decides to strike at a high-profile event. One of the more interesting possibilities discussed is Retribution disrupting the Randy Orton vs Drew McIntyre match. This could lead to a no contest and a rematch for Payback, where Orton gets another shot at Drew, presumably winning the WWE Championship. Number 7. Retribution's reasoning. However, why would Retribution want to strike at Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre? Well, there's obvious reasons for the group wanting to target a main event match, but there's a tantalizing theory about the group wanting to take Randy Orton out in particular. Sportskeeda suggested one setup that makes a lot of sense if the WWE wants to incorporate some past heat on social media. Now, you may recall Randy Orton's social media attacks on NXT wrestlers, calling them out for working too rough of a style and jeopardizing their careers. He also targeted NXT star Tommaso Ciampa, with the two bickering back and forth before things quieted down. While the WWE Universe jumped at the possibility of an Orton vs Ciampa series, nothing unfortunately happened. In fact, one rumor had it is that Randy Orton wanted to face Ciampa at SummerSlam, but this was nixed backstage. However, what if Ciampa is the man behind Retribution and he's looking to get some payback on Orton? There are always some off-the-wall theories in wrestling, but this one kinda makes sense, which probably means we'll see Shane McMahon revealed as Retribution's leader, and he's looking to get some payback on Orton. Number 8. Retribution revealed? Now, if Retribution does strike, will the WWE reveal the identities of the group's members? Given that the group has only been around for a few weeks, it seems premature to reveal any of the group's identity, but patience isn't something associated with Vince McMahon. Unmasking a Retribution member at SummerSlam would make for a big moment, but we hope the WWE gives some time for the storyline to play out. Then again, we don't want it to play out too long, or it might end up disappearing like the SmackDown Hacker storyline. As suggested earlier, the SmackDown Hacker storyline could be incorporated into the Retribution plot, with the WWE revealing it was the first stage of Retribution's war on the WWE. More likely, Vince McMahon has already forgotten about the Hacker storyline. But while the booking for Retribution has been hit and miss, there's some encouraging news about the group's future. Various wrestling sources are reporting that WWE has registered a new trademark for Retribution, which includes merchandise. Clothing and other apparel were part of the specifics regarding the filing. If nothing else, this provides some hope that Retribution will be around for some time. Number 9. More matches to come. SummerSlam currently has 8 matches scheduled, but with the WWE running the event at the Amway Center, we could see more matches. Previously, they had scaled back the running time for its shows during the pandemic, but that might have changed now that the WWE is running in a traditional sized arena. Even if the WWE keeps the show around 3 hours, a SmackDown Tag Championship match between the reigning champions Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura and the Lucha House Party shouldn't be ruled out, and a match featuring Big E would be a good way to continue his singles push. Although let's not hope it's against The Miz or John Morrison, as that series has been done to death. And number 10. Demi the Devil. A 25-year-old blonde cutie, Demi Burnett, competed on season 23 of The Bachelor, and her appearance on Raw has fans and some pundits speculating she might be around for more. Sportskeeda is even going so far as to suggest Demi might interfere in the Raw Tag Team Championship match, helping Angel Garza and Andrade defeat the Street Profits. As we suggested in an earlier news video, the WWE is obsessed with any kind of celebrity showing up on its programming, and while she didn't do anything to help this week's ratings, that isn't gonna stop Mr. McMahon. But there you have it, guys, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know concerning this year's SummerSlam. Have the rumors got you hyped? Let us know in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Facebook for exclusive lists, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.